Greed. When people think of greed, they think of something from the 7 deadly sins of the Bible. They think of it as something that should be looked down on. They think of it as something that people should separate themselves from. But is it really all that bad? Is greed really something that you should separate yourself from? Greed is essentially the selfish and excessive desire for more of something than is needed. This could lead to many problems such as theft, corruption, gambling. When people desire wealth greatly, it may lead to theft as a means of attaining it. When people desire influence and power, it may lead to corruption as a result. Many horrific deeds have been committed due to people's greed. For instance, under Stalin, millions of people died in order to ensure Stalin's influence, in order to ensure that he maintains his power. This need for greed has caused the death of many before. Stalin's not the only case. But is this a problem with greed itself? I think not. This is more so a problem with people's means of attaining the things that they desire rather than the desire itself. Everyone has greed. Children have greed. You have greed. When you outline a goal, if you're in a Western society at least, in most cases, it is because you want and desire something that is more than what you need to survive. You want it and desire it, but it is not something that you need to get yourself out of harsh conditions. You share the same traits as people who steal, people who are corrupt, in the sense that you want influence and you want money as well. You want wealth. It's a universal trait that is shared by almost everyone I can think of. This is because you know that having influence, having wealth, can lead to a more fulfilling life. If not, what about your goals? You want a job, right? And generally you don't want a low income job. You want a high paying job. Why is that? You don't need a high paying job to survive. It's because you know that having more money will allow you to attain more of what you want rather than what you need. So therefore, by going by that, you'll be able to fulfill more of your desires. Just like people who steal, you desire money. However, it's the way of going about it that separates you from those people. You work legitimately in order to attain the things that you want. They would do unjust actions like theft to attain money that is not supposed to be theirs. However, the desire remains the same between both people. And the fact is that the desire is something that is not necessary for survival. It's more than what is required. Let's look at another example. Why do you think that many people are now on social media? And why do you think that many people want to gain followers on Instagram, for example? It's because they want influence. Having followers indicates a measure of influence. Having followers indicates that you have more, let's say, friends. And that is also a form of influence. So in this sense, everyone wants influence as well. Everyone wants power. Everyone wants influence. It's just the way of going about it that separates you from people that are looked down on, not greed itself. The people that are admired within society are those that have more than what you have. And the reason for that is because you want to have the things that they have. Nobody looks at a person with nothing and admires them. Nobody looks up to that person because that person does not have what they have. In a sense, this is also due to greed. Because you desire something that another has, you look up to them as a model to imitate in order to attain that which you desire. And greed itself is not even a bad thing in the first place. It helps people grow. If you don't have any desires, then you simply stand there, unmotivated to do anything in your life. Why would you be motivated? There is nothing pushing you to attain something else. There's nothing pushing you to gain more. At least if you have a survivable income, if you have a survivable and comfortable life, there is nothing more pushing you to move forward. Which is why greed is necessary. You need something to push you forward. Because that way you can accomplish more than what you do have, and you can become more fulfilled as a result. The people that are most fulfilled in this world are those who continually accrue success on a certain domain, in certain fields. And this is because it provides them with satisfaction. It brings meaning and purpose to their lives when they have something they pursue. So when you say greed itself is inherently a bad thing and treat it as something that people should not have, what ends up happening is you stop people's desire to attain more. You stop people from attaining that meaning, attaining that purpose within their lives. And greed is also beneficial on a societal and community scale. Think about it this way. Many of the things that you have in this world are due to greed, are due to someone's greed. The products that you have, a phone, cars, houses, all of these things, advancements in all these technologies, and the creation of new technologies is all due to some person's greed. They all want to attain wealth, so they create new innovations, they create new products as a means of doing so, because they know that by doing so they could gain more sales. For example, taking it from a business perspective, they could attain more sales, and this will help them gain more profit. These new products, they're all due to someone's greed, and it has helped society flourish. It's even lights, right? Simple things like electricity, things that everyone shares, not just an individual. Even these are due to someone's greed. Sure, these things may help numerous people. It may have been for the benefit of many, but it certainly was also beneficial to the individual. Certainly, the person who created these things, who thought of these things, and brought it forth, did so because they also wanted to share in the benefits that electricity provides. And one thing that people generally tend to undermine is the importance of selfishness. They think selfishness is a bad thing. I disagree. It's a really good thing, not only for the benefits that I provided before, which is how it helps people individually and how it helps society, but it's also necessary in the sense that you can't help anyone if you can't even help yourself. The person that you are with 100% of the time, the person that you know the most about, the person that you can understand and empathize with the most. If you can't help that person, which is yourself, then how can you expect to help anyone else? Because you understand yourself more than you do anyone else in this world. And if you can't help the person that you understand most, you can't help a person that you don't understand at all. Now, there are people with desires that are immoral to begin with. I'm not saying that these should not be restricted. They should be restricted. However, people have a general understanding of what that is. But to stop people from being greedy as a whole because of such cases, to stop people from desiring more than what they have, to stop people from desiring more than what they need because of such cases, it's illogical. And trying to separate yourself from greed as a whole does not work. Despite it, you'll still have your desires. That will not change. And if it does, it will only be for the worse, because it will lead to unsatisfaction in your life if you have no desires in the first place to move towards. So rather than trying to separate yourself from greed as a whole, because it may lead to unjust circumstances, it may lead to immoral actions, you should focus on the desires that you have, recognize their existence, and find proper means of attaining them. That should be the message that is portrayed. There is nothing wrong with greed in itself. I think that it's something that everyone should have. It leads to the beneficial, as I stated before, it leads to the benefit of society. It benefits society, it benefits community, it benefits yourself. And I respect a person that is greedy. It's a quality that I do respect. So essentially, what I'm telling you right now is to get more greedy. I hope you learned a lot from this, and I'll see you in the next video.